Hey guys, I'm on here with Nancy, who's out in Arizona. I'm super excited for this interview. Nancy was on the Q&A the other night with me, and she just happened to share some really awesome success about her story, about her store, which I didn't even know she had. And I was like, Nancy, let's get on an interview. This story is awesome, and I really want to go into detail and share it with everyone. So I don't want to go into her story too much, but I'll give you a little sneak preview. Nancy started this about 2 years ago. She came to eCom Babe. She created a business. She sold it for a ton of money, was able to quit her job. And now she has a really exciting vision for herself as to what she wants to do here. So Nancy, we appreciate you getting on here. How's it going?
Thank you. Hi, Courtney. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking me to do an interview.
Super excited. So Nancy, what was it that made you decide to join eCom Babes or just get into e-commerce in the first place?
Well, by trade, I'm a dental hygienist, and I just getting overwhelmed with that. I've been in that business for about 20 years, and I was on Instagram and I saw your, I don't want to say ads, but you're on there, and I kept seeing you, and it just kept coming to me like, I want to do something different. I want to be in charge of my own life, and I don't want to be working for the man anymore. So I just took a risk and bought your course, and just wanted to see where I could go with it. And so I started it, and I failed. I failed a couple times. And because I was doing something that I wasn't passionate about, I tried one niche, and I just didn't want to be like everybody else. I thought, well, I'll just try this because, I just picked it out of the air because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I failed. But I had spent so much time, learning the course and learning all of the terminology, and like even how to pick colors and things like that. So I'm like, well, that didn't go over very well. So I'm going to try again. So I started a whole new website, which was kind of, I should have just started over, but I just kind of renamed everything. So that got very confusing. And I have a teenage son, so I thought I'm going to be a hipster, even though I'm not. So I'm like, I tried that. I wanted to do something trendy, but then I realized I'm not trendy. I mean, I can be trendy, but I'm not a teenager. So I'm like, okay, think, Nancy, think. So being in the dental hygiene field, I decided I have passion about hygiene and teeth and whatnot. So I pivoted, and I just took a complete left turn, and I started a subscription box business. And so that's where your course led me there. And I worked on that for a while. Well, I shouldn't say a while. I worked on it for about a year, and I trademarked it. And that was probably the most important thing I did. And that's what led to someone finding me from my trademark and approached me several times. And I didn't want to talk to him because people were approaching me all the time about marketing. I can help you with your business. Pay me money. Well, this guy wanted to pay me. So I was super excited about that. And we met with him. My son and I met with him several times, and we worked out a deal, and I sold the business.
So awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I don't know if you were carrying on. Sorry if I cut you off.
I don't know what else I don't know what else to go into.
Yeah, no, that's cool. With Zoom, it's hard to see when someone is continuing talking or not. So yeah. That's cool. I love that too. It's a different approach because sometimes there's different ways to approach this. A lot of people get into eCom Babes or into e-commerce, and they just want to build a company that they can have, forever, and they build it into a lifelong thing. And then some people get into it with a different idea, which I know wasn't even your idea, but this is just showing another avenue that you can take this thing. Maybe you're the kind of person that wants to constantly be doing new things. And so you can get into the business of creating businesses and selling them. So with that being said, I know we've talked a little bit about your new business that you're starting. So is that something that you want to also build out and sell? Like, is this your new hobby of e-commerce?
I don't know that I'd get that lucky twice, but I I really want to build out my new store and work it for, I want it to work for me, the automation process. And I don't want to sell it. I do want to keep learning and continue on the path. I think selling that other business, I don't feel like I was personally far enough along to get to where I wanted to be. So it was a big advantage of him coming in and wanting to purchase it. And even now looking back, and it's only been like less than 6 months, I've learned so much more even now so than what I knew back then. And I even said to him, I wish I would have probably just stayed on board with you and grew it with you and not have sold so quickly. Because you learn so much every day. And even going back and retaking your course, and I'm so excited for the new one, but even learning what I already learned, it's just been like an eye opener. Like if you go back and do the course again, even if you're semi-successful at this business, you're gonna just see a different, avenue or aspect that you didn't really understand the first time you took it. So yeah, it's been so inspirational to me. I'm just so excited to take it again and again. I want to open another store and do it again.
That's cool. That's definitely a trend that I hear. So everyone listen up. Everyone that I do an interview with that has seen success in this does always say that they watch the program over and over again. So thank you for bringing it up, because I think a lot of people just go through, it's like when you're in college or high school, you don't just read the textbook once and then you're pass the test. It's something you have to revisit constantly. And I think a lot of people think this is just like a quick fix, magic pill. So really appreciate you bringing that up. And I can definitely tell that you're a lifelong learner of the business. There was something I was going to say that kind of, I lost that thought, but I will ask a different question. So, and maybe it will come back to me. Since you've sold the business and you've quit your job, what has your life looked like in the last 5 months? What have you been doing?
I have, oh my gosh, I've been doing a lot of soul searching, manifestations. I've been really working on myself and just looking for new ways to help my community. My friend and I are going to start a nonprofit, just a little feeding the homeless on Sundays. And I've just been looking for different avenues to find peace and happiness, and selling the business and just having even a 6-month sabbatical has just given me so much more like inner strength, love, peace. That's what I'm looking for. So it's given me so much more time with my family. It's just been a relief. In the beginning, it was hard because I panicked. I'm like, what am I going to do today? But I've actually found more to do than I was doing before. So but it's more positive, and it's worth my time now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And you had mentioned before something about feeling like you maybe sold it too early, or you had like made a mistake. And I really believe in just like divine timing, and that we're always failing forward. And just you bringing that up also thought of another like thing that I wanted to say to everyone. If you're watching this and you feel like you've made a mistake like Nancy made, which I don't believe it was a mistake, just remember you're always failing forward. That really stuck with me when someone said that to me a long time ago, because I felt like I was making all of these mistakes and I was wasting time and money. And it was just like, you're failing forward every step of the way, and just believing that everything is happening to you at the time it's supposed to be happening to you, when it's supposed to be happening to you. I truly believe that you are on the best journey, and you're supposed to sell that business then, and so many more opportunities are going to come from this. So I hope that you really believe that.
I think so too. I think I didn't, yeah, no, I agree.
It's always in the back of your mind though. Like your ego wants to creep in and just be like, you shouldn't have done that. But I think you should be at peace with it.
Yeah. Well, it was just it was a trademark, and that's what sold it was the trademark. So it would, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're abundant, guys. Like we're gonna make mistakes, but as long as we know that there's more than enough to go around and we can always create that abundance. And the fact that you've been able to quit your job from this is awesome. And you've gained so much more than the money from what it looks like to me. So another thing I wanted to touch on too was you mentioned earlier in the call, or when we were talking, actually, you mentioned to me, you're like, I remember our phone call. Like I had done my phone call with you personally and you remember that phone call. And I'm curious too, because I know that initial phone call when we're trying to help people make a game plan and see if e-commerce is a good fit for them or not. I know that a lot of people talk themselves out of opportunities or they don't believe in themselves enough, even though I believe in them. And I'm like, I could do anything to help you. So I'm curious, was there something about our phone call that made you like that flipped a switch and you're like, you know what, I can do this. Like, I do believe that I can do this.
I think just having you on a personal level, and it wasn't like a robocall. It wasn't like, here, buy this pamphlet or this ebook or whatnot. I think it was just knowing that I had the support from you. And then I didn't realize it at the time, but all of the support from your team. And as actually, because I was in this a couple of years ago when I started, you didn't even have the team you have now. So I think like even the team you've created and we have access to you and Tom and Miles, like I think that that's so big, especially when you don't know what you're doing, and I just felt like I trusted you. I just felt that trust, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I get
Because
that.
I just knew I wanted to do this. And even after selling the company, I'm still going to go back to this. I'd rather do this than hygiene.
Yeah.
I love my freedom. And like I was telling you earlier today, I said, I want to work on my computer off the back of a yacht.
Yeah.
I want to be in Greece or, on a patio in Paris. And I see myself doing that with this.
That's awesome. I'm excited. I can't wait for our next interview when you're on a yacht. And I'm at my desk and you're on a yacht.
I'm an investor, so I can do anything.
That is awesome. I love that. So the final question I have for you, and I always wrap these interviews up on this question, is what advice do you have for someone that is currently an eCom Babes student, or maybe they're not even an eCom Babes, they just are, they want more out of their life. They also want to be on a yacht and be doing these things, but they don't believe it's possible for them, or they just lack that motivation or excitement, or they're just scared. What advice do you have for these people?
Well, I know that you can go through the motions and do the course and do all of that, but what really drove me and continues to drive me even today is the mindset. And I put an index card on my mirror and I put one on my desk at work. And I think it said, the life you live today, or the life you live a year from now is based on the decisions you make today, something like that. And I read that every day, every day, every day. And it was everywhere I went. So I really believe just don't give up, just keep, putting the work in and it's going to pay out. It's definitely going to pay out.
Yeah.
You put the work in, there's no way it doesn't pay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story with someone, and I know that this story is going to touch so many people, and maybe this story is going to change one person's life so much that it just completely catapults them into the direction of building an awesome life-changing business. So thank you so much, Nancy, for your time. And again, I'm super pumped for our next interview when you're on a yacht somewhere.
Yes, thank you.
Cool.